Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Saturday. It is the 24th of September 2022. Going to look at the stakes races on the program, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Let's look at the stakes action, races 3 and 10 from Belmont, the Big A. The third race, it's the featured Athenia Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a purse of $175,000. Race for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses entered, but only the 6 horses in MTO, so only 5 will head to the inner turf course. The distance of ground here of 1,800 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct inner turf course. 1,800 meters, 1 mile 1/8 here. And I show the diagram. Just gives me a second to look down my notes. Just bear with me. Sorry, I'm stupid. I can't do 2 things at the same time. My top selection here, and it's even with the small field, I think it's a good race. I think anybody can win. My top selection here, I'm going to go take the number 5 horse, Californian Queen. Let's go 5-3-1-2 in the superfecta. 5-3-1-2 super. Top selection of 5 horse, Californian Queen, 5-year-old mare by Lupe de Vega. Chad Brown trains. Manny Franco gets to mount. The horse's most recent outing came 11 months ago on the 17th of October of 2021 at Woodbine, mile and a quarter EP Taylor turf course in the Grade 1 EP Taylor Stakes. The horse finished third by a half length. It was setting the pace early on with some very pedestrian fractions, but just couldn't stay the trip. Kind of hit the wall late. It wasn't the day to win. Coming off the bench, a lighter spot to a mile and 1/8, which I think this horse should really like. I think this horse is in a better spot to win, and I think she could go run her better race. 2 back, she ran the Boston spot, Saratoga, mile 16th in her turf course, 28th of August of 2021, and she finished third by half length. Again, coming from mid-pack, she was closing up a little bit late. She needs something more, but she still ran her out there from a wide post draw, and then prior to that at Monmouth, at mile 8th on the 17th of July, and the grade 2 matchmaker, it's going to be a grade 3 matchmaker. She finished second by a half a length. Again, a very wide post draw. She was very wide, but was gaining late. Coming here today, I would like to see her come from a little bit behind. If she does that, she could definitely win. Her buyers are up to scratch. Chad Brown does well off a little bit of a break with these horses. I'm going to use this horse. I think you also have to use the 3 horse here, who is 11 Thunder. Jose Ortiz on this one for Chad Brown. Most recently in the De La Rose at Saratoga over the mile, she finished third by 1/2 length, and she just had a little bit of a trouble trip, but she was closing up well late. And then the perfect sting at Belmont over the mile. She finished third by 1/4 lengths. Again, a little bit of a trouble trip, but she was gaining. If she gets a good clear trip, she'll probably win by a country mile. Going to the mile and 1/8 for the first time. Let's use her in the early pick 4. But to recount my selection for the third from Aqueduct, it is the Athenia Stakes. Let's take the 3 horse Californian Queen. Give kudos to the 3 horse 11 Thunder. 5-3-1-2 super. 5-3 in your multi-race. To race number 10 now from Belmont at the Big A. The 10th race, it is the Ashley T. Cole Stakes. It's going for a purse of $125,000. Races for 3-year-olds and upward statebreds. We have a field of 9 horses entered. The 8 and 9 are MTO, so only 7 will head to the outer turf course at this time. The distance of ground of 1,800 meters, or the distance of ground of a mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct outer turf course. 1,800 meters, a mile and 1/8. The rails, I believe, are out at 36 feet, so it's the farthest they could be out on this outer turf course. I'm just thinking, the outer turf course was the inner track years ago, and, always known for the tight turns. Now think about that with the rails out. Now think of the inner track with portable rails that are 36 feet out, even tighter turns. So it's going to be quite interesting. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the 3 horse Cold Hard Cash. Let's go 3-5-2-6 in the superfecta. 3-5-2-6 super. Top selection of 3 horse Cold Hard Cash. 5-year-old Gellin by McLean's Music. Linda Rice trains. Eric Consell gets to mount. The horse's most recent outing came 27th of August at Saratoga. Good inner turf course, a mile and a half in the grade 1 sword dancer. And the horse finished 7th by 9 1/4 lengths that day. And he just kind of stalked, but then completely hit the wall. Got outgamed by the other horses. It wasn't the day to win. Back to statebreds, back to aqueducts. I'm going to give this horse a shot. 2 back and up 6-2 up Saratoga, mile and a quarter on the slop off the turf and the main track in the optional 6-2. The horse won by 5 lengths, and basically from a tracking position, he slowly moved his way up. He quickened up nicely, and he went away with it. A very, very good race. And then prior to that at Belmont, 9th of July, mile 16th on the Widener and up 6-2. He finished third by 2 3/4 lengths there. And first off the bench, he might need the race. He just kind of tracked all around the race course, but he ran decently. His buyer tires as of recently haven't been half bad. He's been definitely up to scratch. If he gets a good trip, he could definitely win. But the only race I didn't like from him was that 19th of November race here at Aqueduct. Mile 3/16 on the outer in optional 80. He finished 6 by 3 3/4 lengths. It was a very tough group of company that day. He was just very wide, never really showed up. Coming back here, we get a good tracking trip with a good poster. I'm going to use him. I think your second likeliest winner is the 5-horse City Man, 5-year-old horse by Mucho Macho Man, Christoph Command Trevor McCarthy, who's had a bit of a rough post Belmont meeting, gets the mount. Most recently, they ran the horse of Bernard Baruch at Saratoga closing day over the mile 16th on the inner, where he finished second by 2.5 lengths. He didn't break that well. He closed up well late, but Emirati had the jump on this horse. And then before then, the Forbidden Apple opening day at Saratoga over the mile, the horse went by 2 3/4 lengths, closing up from nowhere, stupidly wide. I thought it was a good race at 12-1. Back facing State Breds where he runs decently in the past. I'm going to give this horse a shot. Ran this race last year in a 3-horse race on the dirt and finished third. If they run this, it shouldn't. It's probably unlikely that they run on the dirt, but if they do, I wouldn't bet him there. Back to turf. I'm going to use him on the ticket. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Aqueduct, it's actually too cold. Let's take the 3-horse Cold to Hard Cash. Give kudos to the 5-horse City Man. 3-5-2-6 Super. 3-5 in your multi race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.